Fiction has the power to transport readers through time and space, allowing characters to uncover truths that otherwise might remain out of grasp. The finalists for the 2025 National Book Award for Fiction revealed the inner lives of a Lebanese family following the Civil War. Ask how far we might go to protect our loved ones amidst a climate apocalypse, and illustrate the cumulative harm that selective memory inflicts upon a community. Within these stories, we meet a wailing crew reckoning with the weight of their environmental destruction, and an estranged mother and son navigating the rocky terrain of reconnection. The panel chair for this year's National Book Award for Fiction is Rumaan Alam, the author of 4 novels, including Leave the World Behind, a finalist for the 2020 National Book Award for Fiction.
There's only one award here, which means the open bar is coming. At the start of 2025, I got an email from Ruth Dickey asking me if I would consider being a judge for the National Book Awards. I have a feeling that the foundation does this ask in January, because in January, everything seems reasonable. 4 weeks of sobriety, no problem. A new gym membership, no problem. Quitting smoking, no problem. Or in my case, agreeing to read hundreds of novels and collections of short stories. Yeah, it'll be like a New Year's resolution, is what I told myself. It's a privilege. It would be like joining a book club, albeit a very exclusive one, limited just to me and the writers Deborah Erling, Attica Locke, Elizabeth McCracken, and the bookseller Cody Morrison. It was going to be this book club with this greater mission, to give someone the National Book Award in fiction. It's a significant gesture to impact the career of an American writer, but I was more excited about this thing that I told myself we were going to do, which was to provide the culture itself with a measure of what fiction is in 2025. So the discussions in our little book club were very philosophical, and the first question that we took up turned out to be one that we never actually resolved. What makes a work of fiction good? It turns out that there are as many answers to that question as there are readers being asked. Some of us craved stories that worked on our emotions. Some of us needed the entry point of character or place or plot. Some of us wanted political engagement, a sense of grappling with the issues of our day. Some of us argued that the only measure of a book is in how the author wields language itself. Because we never got to a consensus opinion on what makes a book good, eventually the notion of working toward a single winner struck me as either demented or impossible. Not because we couldn't find common ground or challenge our own tastes as a reader, more because I had decided that we were supposed to answer this big question: what is fiction in 2025? And how can any single book show us that? I'm gonna provide you an anecdote. A couple of years ago, at a party, a woman I'm acquainted with, a writer, greeted me, and she congratulated me on winning the National Book Award. Oh, thank you, I said, but I didn't actually win the National Book Award. But no worries, it's an honor to be nominated, obviously. No, she said with such conviction, you won. I'm pretty certain I didn't, I said. No, she insisted, you did. And in that moment, I was like, did I? Maybe I did, and I had somehow forgotten. So I have 2 points that I'm trying to make here. The first, Rabih, Karen, Mega, Brian, and Ethan, you're all writers of fiction. You're already liars. So really, there's nothing stopping you from being at a party a couple years from now and just saying that you won the National Book Award. You should think about that. Don't put it on your resume, but you can push it. But more seriously, this interaction surprised me because I always thought that the only thing that mattered about a prize was who won it. That's what people would remember, and that was the measure of a work's significance. To say otherwise always struck me as patronizing stuff. We're all winners here. So this woman who I was talking to at this party was just misremembering something, and there's nothing that meaningful in that. But actually, having judged this prize now, I believe her error does mean something. It proves what I've come to accept, that no single book can show us what American fiction is up to in this moment. You need at least 5, maybe more, to really see the breadth of it. Indeed, once our little book club had landed on our shortlist, which was an agonizing process, I considered it such a job well done that I forgot we actually had to choose a winner. And the truth is that I'm only saying what anyone who is giving or receiving a prize for art has to acknowledge. It is an absurd enterprise. It is not like bestowing a ribbon for growing the biggest pumpkin. And though I think it's a strange task, I still do believe that it is a worthy one. I still want to understand what fiction is right now in this country, in this language, in 2025. I still want some insight into this fundamentally human activity of telling stories. And taken as a whole, the finalists for the National Book Award in Fiction offer us just that. The finalists for the National Book Award for Fiction are Rabih Alameddine for the true story of Raja the Gullible and his mother, Grove Press, Grove Atlantic. Megha Majumdar, A Guardian and a Thief, Knopf, Penguin Random House. Karen Russell for The Antidote, Knopf, Penguin Random House. Ethan Rutherford, North Sun, or The Voyage of the Whale Ship Esther, A Strange Object, Deep Vellum Publishing. And Brian Washington, Palaver, Farrar, Straus and Giroux, Macmillan's Publishers. And this year's National Award for Fiction goes to Rabih Alameddine.
Thank you. I am surprised. But I also had wrote this speech, and a lot of what was said in the acceptance speeches echo mine. So, Amar, would you please come and accept this again and just repeat exactly what you said? I would really appreciate that. This morning, I'll get to my speech in a second. This morning, I saw 2 videos. One was of an ICE agent. The woman was on the asphalt, zip-tied. He came over and zapped her, and then carried her like garbage and threw her in the back of the SUV. This morning, I saw a video of a Palestinian refugee camp in Lebanon that was bombed and 12 people died. And I kept thinking, they make a desolation and call it a ceasefire. Sometimes as writers, we have to say enough, enough. But Omar said it better, so I'm gonna go to my speech. Sorry. It'll be quick. It seems there is this myth that a writer is this solitary thing. She locks herself in a room, works hard, or not, and comes out of this confinement with a book. Writers as arts libertarians. Well, as you probably know, libertarians are like house cats. They consider themselves fiercely independent while being utterly reliant on a system they don't understand or appreciate, for that matter. Writers aren't libertarians. We may not always understand the system that sustains us, but we do appreciate it. Thank you to my publisher, Grove Press, who have unequivocally supported my work. Sorry, I might start crying in a minute, sorry. To Elizabeth Schmitz, who makes my work make sense. Trust me, not an easy thing. To the salespeople, the marketers, the copy editors. Lordy, I love copy editors. Thank you to all the friends who read my work, to all the friends who don't allow my head to grow too big. That's you. To all the writers who support other writers. I've been so lucky. So many have supported my work through the years, from my early days. Amy Tan, Sarah Schulman, and so many more. I am grateful. Thank you to independent booksellers. I would not have a career without their support. Algorithms do not like me. And the feeling is mutual. To all the friends and family who support me, even though I plagiarize their lives and steal their stories. To my psychiatrist who has been telling me to get over myself for more than 20 years. To my drug dealers. I shouldn't say more about that. Thank all gastrointestinal doctors. I guarantee you that I wouldn't have been able to write a single word in the last 10 years without their help. There would have been no movement. And though it pains me to say this, and I mean it really, really pains me to say this, I am particularly grateful to the greatest agent ever. I can tell many stories about Nicole, otherwise known as my dominatrix, but I'll restrict this to one. Time constraints, you know. Years ago, I was in Beirut, watching television with my mother, whom Nicole knew well since we'd all been on a vacation together. The dominatrix called. She and I talked, my mother pretending to watch television, but her ears were obviously twitching. Nicole told me we had an offer for the novel, but she wanted to turn it down. In those days, Nicole tried her best to make it sound as if she was asking for my approval. Ha! She stopped that years ago. After hanging up, my mother asked what that was about. I told her Nicole wanted more money. She didn't say anything for a bit. She just stared ahead, and then she said, "Don't worry about it. I'll deal with it. I'll pay her. I don't want you to worry." My mother could still surprise me. I explained that Nicole didn't want more money from me. She wanted more money for me. I was laughing when I told Nicole what my mother said. My dominatrix didn't laugh. She was disturbed, wanting to make sure that I explained how things worked. I had to guarantee that my mother now understood. My agent, who could have publishers quaking in their boots, was terrified that my mother might have thought badly of her. As if I needed more proof that she was the right agent for me. I am no libertarian. I do not write my books all by myself. It takes a family, and I am grateful. Thank you so much.